Hello there, my name's Paul. Basically, I'm going to be filming for Britaininaday today. It's 4:45 on Saturday the 12th of November, and I thought I'd just start by answering some of the questions that were posed on the website, basically. So, right, first of all, I'll just explain a little bit about myself and my situation. I'm originally from Bristol, now living in Chiltern in Manchester, Chiltern cum Hardy. Moved up here at the beginning of August with my flatmate Luke, basically just for a bit of a change of scenery and to move to a bigger city really, and I love Chiltern. Chiltern is a great place just because you get a lot of different cultures all kind of mingling in together, rather than, you know, places I've lived in the UK before such as Bristol. You've got different little pockets of communities, but in Chiltern you go down to the local supermarket, you get all kind of different people mixing and getting along, and it just feels like there's a very northern spirit about the place, and everyone is just kind of there to get on with their business and go about their day really, which is a really nice feeling. It feels like, you know, a really decent little community. One other thing just to make you guys aware of is that I probably don't look too great because our boiler is not working, so stopped working yesterday, so we've got no hot water and we've got no heating. So the letting agents were kind enough to bring round these small little heaters, which I'll show you now. There's one there, just so we can basically heat the place up. But yeah, it's not the greatest, and it's pretty cold. It's November. We've got these little heaters, but hopefully we'll have a weekend without heating, and then should hopefully be fixed on Monday. But we'll see, I suppose, really. Right then, so on to the next question, which the one I'm going to pick out now is what makes you happy. What makes me happy are having a lot of good friends around me. Like Luke is one of my best friends, my flatmate, so I'll introduce you to him in a moment. So, you know, having friends around for me is very important because that makes me happy. It makes me feel like, you know, I'm loved and I'm wanted by people, and that's, you know, I think as a human being that we all kind of do crave that feeling, and I think that's really important. The other thing that makes me most happy is music. I play the drums. I'm currently in 2 bands up in Manchester. I'm in a Motown band. I'm in kind of like an experimental jangly guitar band. I love music. I could read about music all day. I could listen to music all day. Absolutely love it. So hopefully we'll see how today goes, but you might see myself and my friend Luke. We're going to go out on the town of Manchester, go for a few pints, which leads me on to another question. Our vices. Do like a bit of alcohol every now and again. I mean, it's kind of ingrained into British culture that is, you know, we do live for the weekend and we go out and enjoy ourselves where we can. So hopefully you might catch us dancing a bit later on as well. One of the other things I was going to try and do today is just, I'll take the camera out, take it around Chiltern, perhaps just ask some people, stop them on the street, ask them some of these questions, and just see if I can kind of encapsulate the, as I mentioned before, this kind of the spirit of community that I think that's so great about Chiltern. That's why I love this place. I mean, when we moved up from Bristol, a lot of people did advise that Chiltern was one of the best places to live in Manchester, and you know, I think they've got it spot on. I think it's one of the best places to live in the UK, to be honest. In terms of the other question about what I dislike about the UK, that's quite a tough question to answer. I suppose it, you know, it's a big place with a lot of people. The thing that I don't like is sort of the badness in people, the kind of closed-minded attitude, you know, people doing bad things to each other, stealing from each other, you know, all the bad things, the bad morals that people have that come to the forefront. You know, you do sometimes get that in Britain, and you get with the whole community of and the culture of drinking as well. You do kind of get that essence of, you know, everyone has to go out and get off their faces on a Saturday night, which I don't think necessarily is the case. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice to go out with your friends and have a good time, but getting out of your tree and, you know, getting in fights and doing all these bad things is not necessarily the best way to go about it. So, you know, that is one of the things that I don't necessarily like so much about Britain. But equally, having said that, you know, you could potentially get that anywhere you go in the world. On another note, I'd just like to kind of answer another of the questions that was posed. Basically, it was relating to what is the most important thing in your life at the moment. Going back to one of my previous answers about what makes me most happy, I'd say that certainly my friends are one of the most important things in my life. Friends that I've got up here in Manchester. Through Luke's girlfriend, I've made a few friends recently. Other friends from work, and as well, friends back in Bristol that I do miss. Hopefully I'll be going back down over Christmas and catching up with a lot of those. And that is one of the most important things in my life, my family. I think again, it's, as a human being, I think we crave this thing from other people, which is often hard to put your finger on, but you have some of the best times of your life, and they're shared experiences with the people around you. I think that's really important to keep hold of and make the most of, because at the end of the day, life's too short, and you should go through all these shared experiences with those closest to you, I believe. So yeah, I hope that kind of answers the question. Right then, this is my flatmate Luke, so I'm just going to pose some of these questions to him as well. So Luke, well, just tell me a bit about yourself if you like.
Yeah, well, I'm 24, very recently moved up to Manchester from Bristol, very much enjoying it. Yeah.
Any kind of aspirations for the future, or?
Yeah, none very clear, but definitely aspirations. I want to be successful, or it's very subjective, but successful for me. I'm not interested in other people's perceptions of being successful. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, if we just move on to the questions, I suppose. One, I mean, what do you kind of like about where you live, or what do you like, what do you dislike, and on a broader scale, what do you kind of like or dislike about living in Britain as well?
Okay. In terms of the local area, I really like the fact that it's full of independent shops, restaurants, delis. I like that there's a sense of community, and you do in some small way feel part of that, even though we've only been here since August.
Yeah.
So that's nice, and that's definitely a plus.
Cool.
I like the Manchester humour. I like that people are very warm here, even though it's a bit of a cliche, but I do really enjoy the warmth of the Northerners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. How would you say it kind of compares to living in Bristol?
It's totally different, but it's really hard to put your finger on why and what it's different about. But definitely living in Bristol and growing up in Bristol, you do definitely get the feeling that it's more of a sort of collection of small, separate, insular communities rather than one big Bristolian community.
Yeah.
And people don't seem to be that proud of Bristol, which is weird because it's got a lot going for it.
Yeah.
It's strange. I think they could learn a lot from places like Manchester.
Yeah. Are there any things that you dislike about the area, or again, like I said, kind of like or dislike, on a general scale about living in Britain?
I think there's not much that I dislike about this area at all.
Yeah.
I think in terms of disliking living in Britain, obvious one would be the weather, but also I think the quality of life as well. And I think what attracts a lot of people to going to sunny places like Australia or maybe even nicer places on the continent is they do just seem to look after themselves a bit better. I mean, I know in France, I believe their working week's something like 35 hours.
Yeah.
I'm all for a bit of that. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. What makes you happy? And this could be a separate question. It depends how you choose to interpret it. What's the most important thing in your life at the moment?
Okay. In terms of what makes me happy, I think just it's really tough because I don't know, because I'm a miserable person. No, I think I don't know. I suppose human relationships.
Yeah.
Good times with friends.
Yeah.
Family, my girlfriend.
Yeah.
I like travel, and I like seeing new things,
Yeah.
and experiencing new things as well.
Yeah.
It's all very cliche, about, my answer, but definitely I just like new experiences. Probably don't pursue new experiences as often as I should, but when I do, it's really good, and it's a really nice feeling, and
Yeah.
it is living, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So living. I said it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what's the most important thing in your life at the moment?
I think just continuing to enjoy my time, and
That's a good answer.
just spending as much time with the people that I do care about, and the people that do make me laugh as well,
Yeah.
as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think that's important.
Yeah. What are you worried about?
How long have you got? Because I if I'm not worried about something, then something's not right. It's kind of the way I feel. I do tend to dwell on things a lot and worry about a lot of things that don't really deserve the sort of airtime in my head. But I do tend to worry about a lot.
Yeah.
I worry about what I want to do in the future, because I don't really know what I want to do. Do something that I enjoy, and I worry about not knowing, and I worry about, should I know what I want to do by now?
Yeah.
There's a lot to think about, a lot to worry about.
Yeah.
But
sure.
at the same time, it is a very exciting time to be alive as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And lastly, what are your vices?
Drinking, the occasional cigarette, maybe just worrying.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, it's a real big one for me,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah. An air of pessimism at all times.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, and also I think those days where you don't want to do anything but just read a book,
Yeah.
get the paper, not go out all day.
Yeah.
That's quite a luxury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's like the crack cocaine of of domestic activity.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay.
Okay. Well, nice one, Luke. Right. If this works, what we're going to do is probably just film some more stuff. Maybe go around Chorlton and see if we can film some evidence of the communities that's there, and then maybe just do some filming around Manchester. But until then, cheers.